Hello, I'm Frank McSheen with Square Peg Consulting at the Whiteboard. I'm a supply chain cash guide, and these are the components of the business-to-business supply chain as I see it. And there are opportunities to generate more cash in every part of this process. Let me show you what I mean. Hello, today we're going to talk about a condition that can impede us generating more cash anywhere across our B2B supply chain framework. And that's called resistance to change. And so the first thing is to figure out, why is there resistance to change? Whether it's changing a process, changing a strategy, changing an organization structure, changing people in their roles, all those kind of changes, you can run into resistance to change. And the number one reason that people resist change is they don't understand why we're making this change. So everybody's focused on the change, but people typically, leadership don't focus on the reason why and communicating that so everybody else understands that they've been through it on their own, figuring all this out. They've had the data to see there's a need for change, etc. But they haven't bothered to communicate all that out to the group, to the troops. And so they're just saying, here's the change, and let's get on with it. And everybody else is like, well, why are we doing it? We've been doing this, what we're doing now, we've been doing for all this time. It's given us results, etc. Why are we changing? So that's the first thing, is why. And what we need to overcome that, to start with, is what's called a case for change. So this is a clear, succinct description of the need for change, the situation that you're in, the situation you need to get to, and the reason why that's important and how it's going to benefit everybody, the company, the sustainability of employment, all those good things that are come out of this change. You've got to be able to state that as a clear message right up front. And the purpose of that is to end the debate about should we change or not. And if you do that, then you'll see that the discussion changes from should we change to how are we going to change, which is a much more productive discussion. Other reasons that they may be some resistance is fear. Again, not knowing how this is going to work, how is it going to affect me, can I make the change, am I capable, those kind of things. So it's more clarity of that future state that you're trying to get to that will help start to reduce some of this. This is not ever going to just go away, but you can start to help mitigate and moderate a little bit of that. Right. The other one is they don't agree. They don't either agree with the need to change, which takes us back to the case for change. That has to be strong enough to overcome those kinds of objections. Or they don't agree with the proposed change, the future state that we're offering. And so the approach I use in that situation is, if we've established that there is a need to change, so that staying and doing what we've been doing is no longer an option, I'm open to whoever and whatever ideas will help us get to the future state we're after. It doesn't have to be my idea. So if I propose something, they don't like it, they don't agree with it, that's okay, as long as there's an alternative, that they have an alternative, a better one, that will help us get to that future state. So that's kind of the rules of engagement I use to help overcome this kind of resistance that don't agree, is you got to have a better alternative. I'm open to anybody's ideas as long as it helps us get there where we're trying to get to in our future state. There's other issues around that fear, again, of capability and performance fear, so to speak. But am I capable to get there? And so letting them know, as part of getting to this future state, what are we going to do to help people make that transition? Is it training and coaching that's going to be provided? Are there other tools, automation, etc., that's going to help make that change? We got to be clear about what we're going to do to help people make that transition. Because they might understand the need for change, they might agree with where we're trying to get to, but they're not sure how they're going to make it in that new world. And frankly, some of them won't. And so that's the thing you have to be prepared for too, is that there's going to be changes in people's roles and organization structure, and some people aren't going to survive the change and have to leave. That's a part of it. But if you focus on the people who are staying, and that's the point of this line right here, oftentimes in changes, structural changes like downsizing, etc., people get so caught up in the people that are leaving, they don't pay enough attention to the people who are staying, the people who are going to stay and operate our B2B supply chain after the changes. Those are the people we need to spend the most time with. We need to make sure we're treating the people that are leaving fairly, help them as much as we can, but let's focus on the people that are staying, that are going to stay as valuable members of our team and help them perform. So not only do they understand the change, they agree with where we're trying to get to, they've had their chance to provide alternatives and their ideas, and now they see how they can make that change to get to the future state safely from their point of view, and that they're going to be a part of that future state and continue as a valuable member of the team. If you'll go through those, I think you'll find that resistance will start to ebb, and you'll make progress faster in generating more cash.